So if you guys are watching on YouTube, first and foremost, hello, welcome to the channel. Tyrant as a whole has been, when it comes to GTA 5 or Valorant or whatever you guys are be seeing on here, it's taking a next turn. For Hogwarts Legacy, it's coming out February 10th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It's sometime in February, and I believe the date is the 10th. Let's check right now since we're on here. Hogwarts Legacy. Yep, February 10th. So that's the release. That's the official release date. We are excited for this game. We are going to be playing it here on Twitch as well as YouTube. All the streams will be linked to YouTube. We're going to be doing giveaways as well as I'm going to be giving away an edition of the game to one of you guys that are here on the stream during me playing it. So make sure you guys come back, have that bell notification or something, because you guys need to make sure that you are here for the start of the game, because when that game starts, that giveaway is going on. So it's going to be amazing. It's going to be fun. You guys will be able to watch the entire thing unravel and unfold. Oh my God, what's going on with everything, man? As it's going on. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. First and foremost, I do want to take a look. I did tell you guys that I want to take a look at the Instagram stuff. So we're going to be switching over scenes here soon in just a second. I want to display capture, not game capture. So here we go. All right. So like I said, again, you guys, we're just going to be going over everything. So for the Instagram stuff, oh my gosh. See, so their first thing that they posted, like I said to you guys, was, nope, wasn't this, wasn't this, wasn't this, wasn't this, wasn't this, wasn't this. So all the way down. Where was it? These were just photos, and it was this right here. I was like, whoa, when they posted this. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what we are going to see. Or, I can make sure that the audio is on.
Welcome to Hogwarts Legacy. You're a new student at the famed School of Witchcraft and Wizardry with a unique ability to manipulate powerful ancient magic hidden in the wizarding world. You'll need to uncover what's behind the return of this forgotten magic and who is seeking to harness it to destroy wizard kind, as you may be the one that decides the fate of the entire wizarding world. But before you can study magic and begin to solve these mysteries, you must create the witch or wizard you want to be. When you arrive at Hogwarts, you will be sorted into one of the 4 Hogwarts houses: Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin. After you settle into your dormitory, you will meet up with your housemates in the common room. You will then need to attend classes, and you do have some catching up to do, as you are starting Hogwarts late as a 5th year. Opportunities for adventure abound in the area surrounding Hogwarts. As you explore, you'll find the world is alive with activity, wonders, and areas of unusual interest. The magical abilities you learn to master through your schoolwork will soon become tested as you unravel a dangerous mystery and discover if the safety of Hogwarts lies in the balance. Master spells, befriend new allies, journey across a landscape never seen before, uncover ancient secrets. As you leave your unique mark on the wizarding world. Here, in Hogwarts Legacy.
So that was the trailer that they ended up revealing on their Instagram first, and then came following their YouTube channel and all that good stuff, and they had this at the end. So they had Live the Unwritten Holiday 2022. So after that, everyone was like, oh my God, this is amazing, they're going to be launching in 2022 at the end of the year. And this was put out March 17th. After a while, after some more posts that they've added in, they did blah blah blah. They then announced that they are going to postpone and push the date due to them not really, finishing the game, like making it real good, like going through the bugs and all that great stuff. So, which I'm okay with. They're only pushing it until February, so it's not that too long. But they ended up saying that they're going to be pushing it. So throughout the time, they have given us a lot, and more. You know, little clips and stuff like that on Instagram. And this is finally that, when they told us that, hey, it's going to be coming out February 10th. They posted that little official little picture, and then they posted that on their page and all that good stuff. From here, we also found out that we can actually go onto thewizardingworld.com, and if we do the wizarding test as well as the Patronus and the wand and all that great stuff, the housings and everything, you can actually link it to the game. So when you launch the game, it'll ask you if you'd like to connect to thewizardingworld.com and everything like that, and you'll log in via that. And let's say I get Gryffindor, right? And on the website, I'll be able to get an exclusive Gryffindor robe, as well as I don't know what else it is. I think it's a hippogriff and stuff like that you get. You get like other things that other people don't get when they are getting the game normally. So I think that was pretty cool. As well as your Patronus, you'll be able to get that as well. So let's say your Patronus is a I don't know, a bird, then your Patronus in game will be a bird, which I think is really cool. So, but yeah, from there we just got more and more, cool things. They announced the collector's edition with the collector's box that I didn't get to get. The steel case and full game is also something that you can get. I think it's called the deluxe edition or whatever. That's still available, but I wanted the collector's edition box because of one reason, guys. Um, the collector's box had something amazing with it. They had this um, uh, floating wand with a book, and what it does is like a magnet. Like the wand is a magnet, and it hovers on the book. And it's you plug it in, and it just hovers, and it goes around in a circle. It costed $300, and around everywhere they are still selling it at $300 in some places. Um, so you see the collector's item here on GameStop is gone. You can't get it no more. You can only get the deluxe and the standard. Um, it looks like it's a PlayStation 5 though. See, the PC is currently unavailable at GameStop, which is stupid, which I don't understand. But anyway, moving on, we have a collector's edition box, which is really really cool. They told us we can pre-order it and all that good stuff. And then we got a little sneak peek into the Ravenclaw's common room, as well as what is it called? Slytherin, Hufflepuff, and Gryffindor. So Slytherin, you can kind of see a little bit of Slytherin. It's down in the in the basement, so of course it's going to be a little more dark and gloomy. The entrance has a little snake thing to it. I think that was really cool. Here's the Gryffindor one little area that you guys can see. Hey, Mad Dog, welcome back. Subscribing again with Prime. 7 months straight. Wow, Mad Dog, that's insane. Man, the boundaries protect us. And we're talking about Harry Potter right now.
I've always wanted to use that spell.
Thank you, Mad Dog. Welcome to the stream, man. Hope you're doing well. How's it going? What you up to right now? Let me know what's going on. I appreciate the sub, by the way, man. Appreciate it a lot. But yeah, so they gave us a little sneak peek on all these little cool little things. Oh, here's Hufflepuff. Hufflepuff is all green and feathery and everything like that. So I think that's gonna be really cool. Mad Dog said, "Good, you're doing good." Hey, that's good, man. I'm glad you're doing all right. I hope you're doing better. You know, we're talking about right now Hogwarts Legacy. I don't know if you're into Harry Potter, but the game has been announced to launch February 10th. So that's pretty exciting. We're going through everything right now. They also posted this. It's a little book. It's like a guide to Hogwarts. I'm not really sure what this is about. It's literally just like a little GIF. So we're not really sure what this too much is about. But yeah. So they also gave us a couple characters that you're gonna be facing. Sebastian, that's Slytherin. I can't say this name. Natsi Onai from Gryffindor, and Hufflepuff, Poppy. Now, there's a thing here, okay? Here's the Ravenclaw. There's another Ravenclaw that you're gonna get to meet, okay, and a couple of others. But if you've noticed, we haven't seen a Slytherin person that we're gonna be meeting. I feel like the Slytherin person is going to be, ending up being the bad guy. But I don't know. We have a little sense of the bad guy is going to be, um what is it called? The One of the guys. Oh my god, can I not remember what it's called? They have the pointy ears. I don't know if you guys can help me out here, but you know who I'm talking about. Pretty much everyone should know what I'm talking about. Those little tiny guys, One of them is supposed to be the main antagonist. So I don't even know about that. I feel like they're just gonna be. I feel like it's just gonna be someone that's you have to get around. Um, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Um, Next, guys, I wanted to go through where is Hogwarts Legacy. Here we go. I wanted to go through the YouTube little area here at the top of Hogwarts Legacy. If you guys want to check it out, it's Hogwarts Legacy slash, YouTube.com slash Hogwarts Legacy. But they ended up giving us a little insight on the creativity of the game, which I think is amazing. The first thing was the Gryffindor fireplace, which I thought was really cool when they first launched it. I'll let you guys hear it a second, but I don't know if you guys can hear that too well, but I thought that was really cool. It's a little happy, a little outgoing music with the fireplace, the lions. This is really cool. You can tell the detail that they put into this game is really, really cool and really intricate. The Gryffindor common room is supposed to be really cool. A lot of people love Gryffindor, so of course they're going to make sure that Gryffindor's is on par with what everyone is going to expect it to be. Then they have Slytherin. So again, this is gonna be on YouTube, so no really copyright there, but we don't want to get copyrighted. But you can see the music's a little, more sinister, like something's going on, but it's still happy, going. But you can just tell the difference that what they're trying to give you, right? So we got snakes. We got this. What is this thing called? From Up. Um, I always say this thing's from Up because it looks like that bird, Kevin from Up. You guys know what I'm talking about? Do I need to show you a picture? I don't need to show you a picture. So anyway, we got skulls and stuff that's just really weird, right, here in the common room. And then obviously, Slytherin is supposed to be more of like, you know, darker, right? So it's a little darker feel. There's not too much alive here and moving. It's just kind of there's literally one chair with a cup of tea sitting at the fire. That's literally it, right? So I thought that was cool. And then we're moving on to Ravenclaw. So I feel like that music was more like I'm in the air and flying. I feel like they put that together so well. I feel like I'm flying on a hippogriff while I'm listening to that song, which is cool. So that's Ravenclaw, right? So still happy and outgoing, um, but it sounds more adventurous to me rather than more like chill, calm, or sinister than Slytherin, right? It's more like you want to do something crazy. I feel like I don't know, but as you can see, the common room is more about caring about each other, right? Um, Surrounding each other with friends. I feel like so it's kind of an open area. You got a bunch of chairs. You got a lot of books because they're very smart people, right? Apparently, and like a little fire pit here with the little, I think that's really cool. Lastly is going to be the Hufflepuff fireplace. A lot of people said this is their favorite. So here we go. So it's very, very, very calm and chill. Way, way down the line from Gryffindor, right? It's more, I feel like more humble, more caring than Gryffindor, the music. So which is really cool. You got Honey Badger, right? You got the fireplace with the teapot at the top. Like this kind of reminds me of the feel of um, the Weasleys area and how they cook their food and how they relax in their home. This is like how I feel it. Um, so I think this is really cool. You don't really see any chairs in this. This is the only one you don't see chairs, which is kind of weird to me. I feel like, um, I don't know. Anyway, I just caught that. I thought it was really cool. You don't see anything moving like the Gryffindor common room either. It's kind of just the fireplace. So but yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to the YouTube little short clips that they've added. They've had a couple of showcases, which we'll get into, but we're definitely going to be watching the Hogwarts Legacy, walkthrough with Legacy Gaming. When was this uploaded? This was uploaded yesterday, so we're just gonna walk through it and see everything that they say, and we're gonna kind of give we're gonna give our own opinion to it. I feel like, you know what I mean. If you guys that are on YouTube, as we're going through this long process here, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I want to hear what you guys have to say when the game launches. Again, we'll be back here to break down everything that we've said and kind of match it to what we see in the game. And I will be live during it, so which is gonna be cool. So. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started on this, guys. I'm pretty much going to be quiet most of the time. I might interject once in a while. But if you guys are here to just, watch what I think about everything and you don't really want to watch anything, skip to this timestamp on YouTube and you can skip it. For those of you guys that are live, you got to stay here. So sorry. All right, here we go.
Dark magic, mythical beasts, and an iconic world just waiting to be explored. Hey there friends, it's Kodiak here. Welcome back to Legacy Gaming. Grab your wands, brew up those potions, and get ready because today we dive into one of 2023's most anticipated games, Hogwarts Legacy. 2023 has all the potential in the world to be a massive year for gaming, and like most years, big blockbuster titles will anchor the gaming community throughout those 365 days. In 2022, we had Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, heck, I'll even throw Stray into the mix, but in 2023, what happened last year doesn't matter, and if there's one game everyone has high hopes for, it's Hogwarts Legacy. Warner Brothers created the studio developing Hogwarts Legacy, Portkey Games, for this purpose and this purpose alone, to create an epic Harry Potter adventure, and by all accounts, things are looking good. But as we break everything down in the minutes ahead, remember, a healthy dose of caution is encouraged with every AAA release. Let's first set the stage and talk story, which is easily one of the most important.
Before we get into the story aspect of it, I think what he said is really, really, really important. A lot of people, when it comes with legacy gaming, is they're hoping for this game to be a slam dunk. And for me, I love Harry Potter. I'm a fan. You guys know this. My whole basis to my room is Harry Potter. If you can't see behind me, well, actually, you can't really see behind me, I don't think. But there's Harry Potter pops everywhere, on the ground, in the cupboard. We got. I don't know what can I show you guys right now. Like, look at this. I got this little wand right here. Okay, you guys were pretty aware. If you aren't aware, you are aware now. I'm hoping that this game is amazing. I'm gonna be such a big critic to it because I love it so much. So I mean, just want to say that before we get into it.
Aspects with this game. What we do know is simple. You're a fifth-year student that's been granted late admittance to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. You hold the key to an ancient secret that's threatening the school and will embark on a dangerous journey to uncover that truth. We've seen a smattering of characters, and some trailers have hinted at an epic showdown between wizards and goblins, but outside of that, the story is largely a mystery, as it should be. One thing we wanted to note was that while J.K. Rowling was
a big thing I want to say after that, guys, is that the Goblins War, that's what I was trying to get at earlier. The Goblins War was a big issue back in the times, and that's why goblins aren't allowed to have wands, because I feel, they felt that they don't want another uprising. So that's a big thing. I feel like that's going to be a huge thing in this game, because this comes years and years before Dumbledore, right, was the headmaster at Hogwarts. This is a long time ago. We're not even talking about Harry Potter. The Death Eaters weren't even a thing. I feel like maybe there's some small portrays of it, but this is way before that era. So
wasn't directly involved with the development of the game, Portkey Games has reassured players that they've worked closely with her team on all aspects of Hogwarts Legacy to make sure it remains in line with what players expect from the magical world. Regardless of your thoughts on Rowling and her controversies, we choose to focus on the game and the world we know millions of players are excited to explore. For all the books, movies, theme parks, and more, we know there's still a lot of the wizarding world left to discover, but it's important to understand when things take place within the game, so we can try and ground ourselves in some sort of reality. Hogwarts Legacy dropped players into the late 1800s, more specifically around the 1890s, as seen in this newspaper clipping. For context, the Magical Beasts series takes place in the 1920s, and the Harry Potter books and movies play out throughout the 1990s. We're diving in a full century before Harry Potter, so expect things to be quite a bit different. You'll quickly see architecture, technology, and the overall lifestyle in and around Hogwarts is themed perfectly for the time period. We're told not to expect to run into too many familiar faces, but there will be plenty of references throughout the game that will eventually make their way into the books and movies as we know them today. Also keep in mind that things like broom technology, potions, and even spells themselves are still being developed and mastered.
hey, Big King Nasty, thank you for the follow, man. I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're into Harry Potter, because that is what we are talking about today, here, and it's a big issue for me, because I want this game to be good. Okay, so Big King, hope you're enjoying the stream so far, and hope you're staying a while. So let me know where you're from, man.
At this time, things are going to feel different, and that's by design. So don't go into the game expecting to fly around on a Nimbus 2000.
My wife is, and it's why we're here. Just finished watching Canada win gold medal. Canada win gold medal. What? Wait, what was going on in... What was this about? Whoa. What is this for? I didn't hear about anything going on. The World Juniors gold medal game was today. Canada versus, I don't even know how to say that. Final score result, Dylan, whoever, gold medal. Oh, wow. Overtime. Interesting. I didn't know about that, but that's really, really cool. Yeah, but that's why you're here now. And they won in overtime. Holy crap. So what sport was this for? Because it looked like hockey from the eyeball that I've seen, but was it not hockey? Was it something else? I feel like it was something else, but I don't know. Tell me. Yeah, it was hockey. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not really into it too much, even though I live in a state where hockey's huge, but I'm more of the soccer type of guy. I'm trying to get into hockey and football now more than I used to be, so I guess we'll see. But congratulations, man. That's awesome. I'm glad you got to watch the whole thing. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I should have watched the game because, I wanted to see who would win and all that good stuff. So I don't know if it's the same, but if it's Canada, it's always hockey. Do love football. Alfonso Davis is a stud. Well, here we go, man. Now we're talking about sports. Well, hey, man. I hope you enjoy the stream here. And let me know what you expect from Hogwarts Legacy if you're a fan.
The 1890s influence is immediately seen as we start to engage with the game's first system, the character creator. I won't lie, this isn't revolutionary by any stretch, but it's such an important part of this game's experience. The idea of creating a witch or wizard is something we've been dreaming of doing for decades, and Hogwarts Legacy is finally allowing us to live out that fantasy. You'll notice standard sections and toggles throughout, as the basic clothing and styles are a clear representation of the time period. Presets help you get started with your character, but you can choose to further refine that with your own creation. Everything we've come to expect from a modern character creator are there, giving you options to tweak things such as facial structure, eye color, hairstyle, you name it. One feature we haven't seen before that we think is pretty interesting is voice pitch, which further adds a layer of customization to your own Witcher Wizard. Creating your Witcher Wizard is really only part of the equation. As we all know, being sorted into your house is really where the magic begins. Believe it or not, you can actually choose your house right now. We have a video on the channel walking you through exactly how you can do that.
Now this is through the Wizarding website. If you guys are wondering, Wizard. What am I thinking? Oh my god. Oh my god. World of Wizard? Wait. Can't even, I'm not, Wizarding World, oh my god. I'm tired, guys. I'm tired. So, you can do this here on the Wizarding World, which we are definitely going to do before we get out of here. But I'm excited to see what house I'm going to be in. I hope it's Gryffindor. I hope my Patronus is, well, you know what? I was hoping my Patronus to be like a lion or something strong like that, because I feel like I'm really strong. But who knows? Everyone has been getting crazy stuff, so I don't know. We'll see.
And pick up some extra in-game rewards in the process. Once you create your character, you'll then be sorted. And yes, that's when you'll meet the famous sorting hat. As a 5th year, you'll still get to experience the ceremony in-game, whether you choose your house ahead of time or in the moment during the playthrough. Once sorted, you'll have access to your new house's common room, something I'm sure you're all eager to explore. The team has done quite the job making each common room feel unique and immersive, creating spaces that align so perfectly with the lore of each house. Gryffindor, the most established common room throughout the series, looks much as you'd expect, with maroon and gold tapestries, plenty of comfy seating, and a regalness fit only for Godric Gryffindor's house. In contrast, the cold and dark common room of Slytherin strikes a much different vibe. Set in the dungeons, it's not the least bit warm and cozy, and is exactly where you'd expect witches and wizards of Salazar's house to spend their downtime. Located in one of the castle's towers, the Ravenclaw common room is easily one of my favorites, with floor-to-ceiling windows and an emphasis on elegant design, perfect for the students of Rowena Ravenclaw. Finally, we have the Hufflepuff common room. As you might expect, every inch of this space is filled with plants of all different varieties, and everywhere you look is some sort of wooden architecture or accent. The common room feels almost den-like, which perfectly aligns with the Hufflepuff's heraldry featuring a badger.
You know, this is something that I've looked into for a while. Since they've been posting on their Instagrams before their even YouTube channel blew up, was little specs of how intricate the game artists have put in the time and work to make these areas look. You know, I feel like they wanted Gryffindor, Slytherin, you know, all these houses to look and feel like you would think that they would if you were really there, right? And how they portray in the books and the movies. I know a lot of people are, you know, telling me that they took a lot of things from the book that some people aren't going to know, because, you know, for those of you guys that don't read the books, you're not going to really know what's the difference between the movie and the books. But I feel like they're not going to be such a big change. It feels like the artists and designers are fans of the series too, which is always a plus. You know, at 110%. 120%, I feel like they are, because the time that they put in for this game was a long time, okay? And I feel like a lot of that time wasn't due to coding. I feel like it was creating everything and making it feel and look like Harry Potter, and which is really hard, you know, because if you're gonna have something, you know, be on a shelf and you want someone to like flick their wand and it to levitate and move, you got to make it look good, right? You know, right? So I don't know. So I feel like that's always a plus too. I definitely agree with you. We're not supported or sponsored by any of these, so please disregard any of the ads that you do see here, guys. Skipping over.
What's a true student experience without shuffling between classes and completing a laundry list of chores and assignments? Well, this is where the core progression of the game really kicks in, but in a meaningful and hopefully enjoyable way. Players will participate in 4 primary classes: Charms, Herbology, Potions, and Defense Against the Dark Arts, each taught by a different professor. As we
I'm going to interject again. I'm going to be doing this a lot, guys. I duly apologize. But potions are going to be very, very important for this game. I've seen a lot of the gameplay for this game, and the biggest things that I've seen were potions. For you to create it, it actually takes time for you to also create it, like actual time. Like once you hit the button, it takes an hour. So however long you have to wait an hour. So which means that these potions are going to be worth it to create. If they're going to take real time minutes and it takes a while, it's going to be very helpful to have. I'm not a big fan of potion making. I was never a big fan of it. So I'm going to have to kind of change my tone and my ways to fit the game and do well in the game, right? So I hope that for you guys as well.
mentioned before, these are characters you won't be familiar with, but will no doubt be integral to our experience within the game. In Charms, we'll learn under the twinkling eye of Professor Abraham Ronan, a jovial and light-hearted individual. He's known for his playful spirit and for incorporating games into his teachings, which we got a glimpse of in one of the developer showcases. In Herbology class, students will learn under Mirabelle Garlick, a London-born witch that grew up in a house full of muggles. She radiates sunshine and charm and is said to have truly blossomed once she arrived at Hogwarts. In sharp contrast to Mirabelle is Aesop Sharp, the potions teacher. An ex-Auror with an impressive knowledge of battle-worthy elixirs and drafts, his curriculum is said to be amongst the most challenging at Hogwarts. Not easily impressed, winning over this professor may be the key to your success against the evil that's enveloping the world. Finally, we have Dina Heckar, the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. As a former Ministry of Magic employee, she's a stern but likable professor that prefers a more hands-on approach to teaching. Some say her time in the Department of Mysteries has left her with a need to satiate a desire for action. According to the devs, classes will act as one of the main progression checkpoints.
Can we please talk about how she saved that kid's life just now? Can we go back to that real quick without any music or anything? Can we just look at this? And first of all, can we look at how big I'm beating up this guy in this game, or this character is beating up him? Anyway, okay, let's go to this. Look at this. Who is lifting this giant ass face dragon looking skull? It's obviously going to be the teacher. Look at her. She just looks so innocent and so, well doing. When I first saw her and she was the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, I was like, huh? She looks like frail and fragile. Nope, not after that.
According to the devs, classes will act as one of the main progression checkpoints throughout the game. You won't be forced to attend classes on a set schedule or anything ridiculous like that, but classes will act as major moments throughout the gameplay where you'll unlock new spells and abilities, as well as move the story forward. Each class aligns with a different aspect of the combat systems within the game, so it's only logical that our time in class will directly influence how capable we are in a fight. Obviously, we have spells, so that's where Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts factors in, but we also know that we'll have access to magical plants such as Venomous Tentacula, Chinese Chomping Cabbage, and Mandrakes. We also know that potions will be an on-demand resource for buffs, which I can only imagine will unlock and advance as part of Potions class. It's all tied together, and that's exactly the type of system interaction we love to see here on the channel. Aside from the main curriculum, the devs have hinted that there will be additional classes and tasks outside of those 4 primary subjects we just discussed. Engaging in these will net players experience, additional spells, allow players to fill out their collectible logs, and unlock items not otherwise obtained during the main storyline. I love the inclusion of engaging side quests in any RPG, as it provides a fun break from the linear nature of a more guided experience. Hopefully these go beyond simple fetch quests and, more importantly, have aspects of storytelling baked right in.
Now, obviously, I didn't think that this was going to be such a big topic, but a lot of people are talking about the side quests in this game. How many side quests are there going to be? What are they going to be like? Are we going to be able to leave Hogwarts? And I think that was the big question. Are you going to be able to leave Hogwarts? And per all the trailers that I've seen and the playthroughs, 110% yes, you'll be able to leave Hogwarts, which I thought that's crazy. I thought this was just going to be a little game, okay? This is going to be a massive worldwide game where you're going to be able to get on a hippogriff and fly somewhere. I was like, when I first heard that, I didn't believe it for a second. I thought that was going to be something that they're going to be hinting about, and it ends up not happening. Nope, that's probably why another reason why it was taking so long to create the game, that you can actually fly into the Forbidden Forest and then go to the creaking shack and then going to what's it called? The area where you purchase stuff. I can't remember what it's called, but I thought that was really cool.
The sky is really the limit here, and with such an open and expansive world ripe for development, the team has plenty of opportunities to create some interesting side content for players to explore. Now, we have seen 2 examples of optional side content during one of the developer showcases. In both cases, our character receives quests from other students around Hogwarts. In one instance, we're tasked with locating the Daedalian keys. These keys unlock hidden cabinets somewhere else around Hogwarts. The other quest has the player finding gobstones scattered somewhere around the castle. It's hinted that gobstones might be a playable minigame, but that's not confirmed. Each quest starts with some back and forth dialogue that gives the player a decent amount of freedom how they choose to respond. It's still not entirely clear if and how morality will come into play, but based on the responses we've seen, there's definitely the opportunity to be a royal witch or wizard prick. Hogwarts is massive, and while we haven't seen everything quite yet, the team has done a nice job showcasing its scale without revealing all of its secrets. Every area we've been able to explore ahead of launch seems teeming with activity, and hopefully that translates some way into the gameplay. As the seasons change, so does the castle, and the developers have said that activities in and around Hogwarts will vary based on that season. While Hogwarts Legacy is a single-player RPG, that doesn't mean you'll experience the game alone. In fact, a little-known companion system ensures that you'll have someone watching your back throughout various points in the game. At this time, we know of 4 confirmed companions. Sebastian Sallow, a Slytherin with a twin sister suffering from a mysterious curse, Natsai Onai, a Gryffindor whose mother just became Hogwarts' new divination professor, Poppy Sweeting, a Hufflepuff with a knack for taking care of magical beasts, and Amit Thakkar, a Ravenclaw that aspires to be a famous wizard historian. While the system is still largely a mystery, we do know that companions will have special quest lines associated with them. We know that choice could...
Yeah, it really does. And I feel like a lot of I'm sorry, I should read this out loud, but sounds like the Star Wars, the Old Republic companion system. And I think a lot of games are created like that because, again, side quests, right? Those things are big in games. So, of course, side quests are going to be in every single game that we're going to see for the rest of our lives because obviously people want to see that kind of stuff and be able to move around in open world games. So I feel like how could they not have had it in Hogwarts Legacy, right? I think it's going to be pretty much almost the same, honestly. I've seen it in a lot of different games, so we'll see. And something else I did want to say as well is that, all these companions that you're meeting are going to have long... Like, this game has to be long because you have 4 people that you're going to have to react with and understand where they're coming from. The storyline's going to have to, have a good story for each of them, you know what I mean? Or it wouldn't be really worth it. So, I don't know, we'll see.
Could play a huge factor in the outcome of those quests and possibly even those friendships. But without much more to go on, we'll just have to leave it at that for now.
Yes, we all love Marvel, okay? But unfortunately, we're not watching this.
As you explore Hogwarts and the surrounding world, you'll be guided in your adventures by the Wizard's Field Guide, which acts as your menu, but also your gateway into various other systems within the game. At this point, we've only seen a glimpse of the Field Guide, but it's enough of a look to provide us with some key details. Up top, we've got our character's level, which indicates a traditional RPG leveling system. If we go clockwise, we of course have an option to view our map. While we haven't seen this feature full screen quite yet, this great video by fellow content creator Ben Snow gives us just a glimpse at what a fully realized Hogwarts Legacy map could look like. I've left a link to his video in the description below. Next is our quest menu. As far as we can tell, players can track one active quest on screen in-game, and I imagine we'll be able to toggle through and track progress via this menu in the field guide. Moving along, we have Owl Post, which is a bit interesting. It's a single-player game. It's not like we'll be sending mail to one another like we would in an MMO. So what does Owl Post mean? This could just be a clever way for the game to send you bits of lore or possibly even items. It would make sense given how owls are used in the books and movies, but it's still unclear within the game. We do know that...
Something a lot of people were talking about as well during the game reveal, or the playthrough, was you can have a pet in this game, which he'll talk about a little bit, I feel like. But you can have an owl, a cat, or a... Oh my gosh. An owl, a cat, or there's one more. I forget what the last one is, okay? But you can have one of them, right? So people are talking about the owl post and stuff like that, and and you're able to do something with each animal. So if you can do something with an owl, what do you think that thing would be? Personally, and what a lot of people agree with is sending letters, like what he was kind of just talking about. But how are you going to send letters? What is that going to really do? Are you going to be able to talk to people outside of Hogwarts and the playable area? And then what are you going to do with a cat if you pick a cat as your as your animal? What is that going to really look like, or how's that going to really help you? So that's something that we really don't have any information about at all.
Hogwarts has the famous owlry, which we can visit, so I have a feeling all of this will tie together. If we keep trudging along, we have settings. Plenty we'll be able to dive into at some point. Straight at the bottom of the Wizard Field Guide are challenges. This is a really interesting aspect of the game the developers have spent a good amount of time talking about. Within challenges are 5 categories: combat, quests, exploration, field guide pages, and the Room of Requirements. It's easiest to think of these like achievements. As you complete the various challenges, you'll unlock the achievement, and those accomplishments will be tied to additional XP gains. But if these challenges unlock additional things, such as items or cosmetics, we just don't know. Like most achievement-style systems, completing some of these challenges will just happen as you play the game, where others will most likely take you off the beaten path as you explore more optional content within the world. For example, we saw a player use Accio to snatch a field guide page that was floating around the castle. I have to imagine there are dozens, if not hundreds of these, flapping around different parts of the Hogwarts Legacy world.
I agree.
Tied to challenges is the next menu option, Collections. Based on the picture of a wizard studying, I have to guess that this is a sort of lore repository, a place for players to learn more about the things they collect and see during their adventures. It's a wild guess, but makes the most sense in this type of RPG environment. It could also be tied to the cosmetic system, but I'm less confident of that. Back on our menu screen, we also see an option for talents, which we'll talk about in just a bit. Next on our list, we have inventory, which indicates we'll have a way to store all sorts of items we find during our adventures. Finally, gear, which I would guess leads into...
I do want to talk about the inventory that they were talking about. In the something that he doesn't say is in the gameplay walkthrough, where they gave us a little bit of the gameplay, you carry a bag with you. And any time that you want to ride your hippogriff, or you want to get your broomstick and like use it, you pull it out of the bag with that charm on it. I can't remember what that charm is called that extends the bag, right? So you're able to have a whole like other world in your bag, pretty much. You could see it in the movies a little bit with Hermione and her little tiny bag, right? But literally a giant bird hippogriff comes out of the bag in the gameplay. So that's how we can kind of know how the inventory is going to look, which for me, I think that's really nice, because then you can have like unlimited stuff in your inventory. You're not going to really have to worry about, hey, your inventory is full. You're going to have to move something, or you're going to have to delete it, or you can't have it. Hopefully that won't be an issue in the game, hopefully.
To a pretty standard RPG loadout screen. We'll also dive into gear in just a bit. Like I said, there's a lot we can learn from the menus, but sadly, still a lot of unknowns we can't quite define. Of course, that's by design, but it just means we'll have to speculate a bit longer until the truth is revealed.
You know, a lot of things about the spells that we know, there's going to be a lot of spells for you to use. But my thing is, when it comes to spells, how are you going to use it? Like, especially on like keyboard, console, and stuff like that, you're only going to have a certain amount of buttons that you're going to be able to click. So I'm wondering how that's going to work. I hope he'll talk about that.
While attending class and completing quests will be enjoyable, there's no denying one simple truth. Being a witch or wizard is all about the spells. The majority of your experience will be utilizing your spellbook to manipulate the world around you, be it discovering secrets with Revelio or shaking down your foes with the treatment of Descendo. You're likely to find a use for every single ability at some point in your playthrough. The devs have indicated that there will be groupings or categories of spells to help players better understand the overall role of that ability in the larger kit. So far, the team has only identified 3 by name: damage, force, and control, but there are clearly more, as we can see distinct groupings of spells in this blurred out showcase here. The team has been very selective when showing off the overall spellbook, and I get why. I can see unlocking or learning a new spell as a highlight within the game, and the team is almost approaching spells as spoiler territory.
So you can kind of see what he kind of goes into when he looks at the spells. During the gameplay, they showed us an area where someone had to get in the game and set up the spells. And this is what it looked like. So you can tell there was a lot of spells this person had, right? And then on the left-hand side on my screen, you're able to see 4 boxes, right? So is this going to be how you're going to choose the spells that you can use? So that's going to be kind of weird for me, because if you want to use a certain spell, you're going to have to go into that book, drag it, drop it into that area so that you can actually use it. I think that's going to be a little downside when it comes to it, if the game is like this, which we obviously don't know.
Been very selective when showing off the overall spellbook, and I get why. I can see unlocking or learning a new spell as a highlight within the game, and the team is almost approaching spells as spoiler territory. Now, speaking of spoilers, we're going to dive into all of the spells we've been able to identify within the game, so if you want that to be a surprise, just skip ahead to the next chapter. And with that out of the way, let's check out direct damage spells. Blasting out of the gate is Confringo, a direct fire blast attack that leaves the wand and travels across an area towards its target and inflicts burn plus a degree of stagger. This has the capacity to rapidly close distance, and I think will be a popular spell with its lasting burn effect and interrupt potential. This isn't to be confused with Incendio, which expels a closer and more channel-like flame directly from the wand. The intended use is to set things alight, but we can see through many combat sequences just how deadly this can be. We even get what appears to be variations, most likely opened up by upgrades either via gear or direct spell points, as seen here with this follow-up Ring of Fire effect. Next up, and also closely aligned with the elements, is Glacius. Adding to your arsenal of damage and crowd control spells, Glacius does what you'd expect, freezing an enemy in their tracks. Even large enemies like trolls are vulnerable to the spell, although it appears an enemy's size may affect the duration of their frozen state. If you look carefully through all the action here, you can see Glacius cast on an enemy and then a follow-up attack that shatters the ice, dealing large AoE damage. This is again likely an upgrade to the spell through one of the various progression systems within the game, and it's really exciting to see the team actually change the nature of the spell with upgrades versus simply bumping up the damage or speed. In the Dark Arts preview section ahead of launch, we saw a lot of great combat, including the infamous Unforgivable curses. In the wizarding world, these spells are highly illegal and if used, can result in life imprisonment and banishment from any order. In-game, they're shown to leave marks on targets, and via spell upgrades, can even link multiple enemies together to share.
You know, something that I really heard a lot, and a lot of people talking about this game, is that one spell that we don't speak about, right? Avada Kedavra, and that spell is the Killing Curse, right? And it is, like he said, it's not allowed in the world, right? If you use it, you get a one-way trip to Azkaban prison, right? So and that's a one-shot kill kind of thing. So is that something that you're going to be able to use everywhere in the game once you learn it, or is it only going to be for specific times in the storyline? Because again, it's not allowed. So if you're more of a darker character, is that going to make you more acceptable to keep using that spell? Or let's say I'm a Hufflepuff or a Gryffindor and I'm not that dark, am I not going to be able to use it that much? So that's kind of my thought process about that. I feel like if I have to say an answer to that, I feel like that it's correct. You're not going to be able to use it everywhere. You might only be able to use it at the end of the game where your life depends on it, or in this training area or the fighting area. I think that's the only 2 places that we're going to be able to see it, but who knows, I can't.
Damage and ultimately instantly kill several targets at once. The first of the 3 unforgivable curses is Crucio, or the Cruciatus curse. Any victim unfortunate enough to be on the receiving end is caused intense pain and suffering while not causing physical damage. In practice, this appears to mark the enemy and immobilize them for a period of time. They don't appear to be able to move or cast, and visually, the team does a good job indicating the enemy is truly in some kind of torment. Next up is Imperio, or the Imperious curse, used to control anyone under its effect, to do the bidding of the caster. It's not obvious in the showcase if you have any sort of direct control over the affected target, but at the very least, it seems they'll be able to attack whomever you're currently focusing on and use something from their ability kit. Bringing up the rear is the ever-deadly Avada Kedavra. There's no other spell like it, and it's truly the end-all be-all when it comes to dark magic. Dubbed the Killing Curse, it'll level anything unfortunate enough to be in its path. The devs have chosen to keep this spell true to nature, instantly defeating foes even as large as mountain trolls. We're not sure how or if this spell will be gated throughout the game, but once it's unlocked, it'll sure to be an essential spell in any battle loadout. Any Witcher wizard worth their magic should have some sense of how to control the battlefield. These next spells introduce critical elements of crowd control and utility to level the playing field when facing multiple or difficult enemies. Let's take a look at possibly one of the most famous of these spells, Leviosa. When used, you lift an enemy or object into the air, which takes them out of the fight for a period of time, unable to cast or move. Use this to great effect to escape a situation or further engage a group. This pairs nicely with something like Descendo, especially when fighting groups of enemies. The spell is meant to lower or drop something from the air, but when used on ground targets, it's essentially bouncing them off of the ground and leaves them suspended, also removing them from combat for a few moments. These two spells.
So you can see how you can kind of do, one spell that would lead to another, and then, oh, wait, I can finish off with that spell. So, okay, if I use that one, and then do that one, that's it. That's going to be my fighting style. So I feel like if it's really that easy, there's going to be a lot of cases where you're going to have to fight more than one person, right? So I feel like that's where it's going to make it harder. As the game goes on, I feel like more and more people you're going to have to fight at once. So I'd kind of be prepared, guys, to practice your hand and eye coordination. But who knows?
Spells combined can give you a huge advantage
saying that.
when trying to isolate targets and improve your odds of success. I'm sure you've started to pick up on the combo potential here. It may be difficult to string all of this together, and that's where the team introduces your basic strike. This is meant to be a combo filler and hit foes with a basic attack. After blocking a spell, you can then counter with a full-blown Stupefy, which temporarily staggers the target. Basic strikes don't take up a spell slot and are used to string together multiple major spells. Stupefy is also an independent ability that doesn't take up a combo slot, but instead is tied directly to the counter function. One of my all-time favorite combos that we've seen so far is probably the Disarm and Command attack duo. Disarming opponents is a basic dueling skill taught in school and one we've seen many times in combat. In this footage, we see our character use Expelliarmus to disarm one of the enemy guards and then use a combo of Apugno to command the now free sword to attack that target. It's such a satisfying use of objects in the game, and the devs did a great job including this level of detail. If you look close, you can see Apugno being linked to the R1 button, indicating it will be a built-in function once unlocked. Another nice quality of life ability that doesn't take up a spell slot. The next duo that will see frequent use is the Accio and Depulso spells for both utility and combat. Accio is on full display, being used to draw objects closer to you. You'll utilize this for solving puzzles, traversing the environment, and in combat to weave into various combo attacks. In the same vein, Depulso will push objects away from you, including enemies. I can imagine we'll see more of this spell in combat, as it'll be a great way to quickly make space between you and enemies that try and get too close or deal their damage, such as trolls or animals. If you find yourself overwhelmed at the speed of an enemy or just need to eke out a little more crowd control, you'll find Arresto may be worth a cast. You'll slow down your opponent's cast and movement abilities and render them pretty much useless for a short period of time. We've seen this work both on the ground or in the air, and looks like a subtle but effective way that may just give you the small advantage you need to walk away from the battle alive. Another utility/combo spell is the cutting spell, or Defindo. You'll use this to cut or split objects throughout your gameplay, but we've seen this almost exclusively used in combat from the footage so far. Its signature slash animation can be seen flying towards an opponent, and when it lands, looks to push an enemy backwards as a stagger and interrupt effect.
So cool.
Now, it wouldn't be much of a wizard showdown if you couldn't somehow defend yourself. This is where Protego comes to your aid. This appears to be the basic parry mechanic within the game. As you engage enemies and dueling partners alike, you'll receive notifications of incoming attacks, which you can parry and even follow up with a counterattack. The devs have dropped some clues that suggest upgrades are possible for this ability, but nothing we've seen confirmed or fleshed out quite yet. Next up, we have something that complements the stealth play style. When used, Petrificus Totalis will completely paralyze the target, causing them to go stiff and unable to move. Technically, they remain fully conscious and aware of what's happening, they just can't do anything about it, which sounds awful. We see here the spell is highlighted by name as you creep close to your target, again, hinting that this may not take up a spell slot, but instead remain a situational trigger to be used within a certain range of enemies or during stealth. Before we close out the offensive ability list, we gotta talk about the Ancient Magic bar. As your character progresses, you'll unlock various abilities linked to ancient magic that can be used in encounters. Engaging enemies charges up your ancient magic meter, and we're told at least 2 ways to build up this faster: performing successful combos and by picking up magic essences dropped by enemies. Once one of these bars are full, you'll have the ability to unleash a powerful and often deadly attack on an unsuspecting foe. You don't get to select which ability this is, rather the effect is determined by the type of enemy you're casting it on. This is a really fun way the team has introduced more offensive abilities into the game without taking up a dedicated spell slot.
You know, I really like that when I heard that because, you know, when you're fighting someone and you know what spells you're using, this is kind of cool to bring to the table that, well, actually, you don't really know what the last spell you're going to use because it's going to be different the whole time. It's kind of like a randomizer. So I thought that was pretty cool. I feel like if you do half the bar and you use that combo spell, that's going to be something cool, right? If you wait until the bar is completely full to use it, it's going to be like a, oh my God spell. You know, maybe it's going to be one of those, spells that we don't talk about, or what.
And we're excited to see what different effects Ancient Magic has on the various enemy types. As we wind down towards the end of confirmed spells, we venture into almost exclusively utility spells that most likely won't see combat, but are rather used to aid the caster in different environmental situations. The Disillusionment Charm opens up a true stealth playstyle within the game, allowing players to blend in with their environment. The next utility spell we know of is Revelio. We know this will be a quick slottable spell on the D-pad as shown through various in-game footage. Aside from story progression, we'll use the spell to reveal collection items such as field guide pages, hidden doors and pathways, as well as any number of secrets hidden throughout the game world, maybe even people or creatures. Finally, the well-known Lumos or Illumination spell. Expect to use this often to light your way down a dark path in the Forbidden Forest, highlight wall writing while in the depths of a cave or dungeon, or simply illuminate your way around the castle after hours. Let's end with a little speculation. While not directly confirmed as a player spell, we do see Reparo several times throughout the footage. We're going to make an assumption here we'll be granted use of this spell, as it can be an essential way to repair broken objects like bridges or stairways to reach otherwise inaccessible areas.
I feel like we're
What's
not
a
going to
good
be able to use
RPG
that.
without a progression system? Hogwarts Legacy promises a few, and I think they're going to play a massive role in how effective we are during some of the most chaotic moments of the game. First, keep in mind Hogwarts Legacy does have a more traditional difficulty system. Players can choose how easy or hard they want the game when creating their character. There's even a story mode for those casual gamers that just want to experience Hogwarts Legacy without all of the extra stress of intense combat. At the moment, there are really 3 systems that I want to highlight, and I imagine they'll all be wildly important once we go hands-on with the game. The first system are talents, and while we haven't seen how deep this system goes, it's safe to assume the developers are following a rather traditional path here. As you level up, you'll gain talent points, which you can then allocate within 5 talent trees.
All these 5 talent trees that he's talking about right now that I muted him about, we pretty much know it's going to be like any other game, like you kind of said, Big King Nasty. It's going to be something that you're going to be able to, once you're going to be able to hold in these areas, which then I feel like you're going to be able to use for certain upgrades or certain levels, which I feel like he goes about in telling.
We see that Stealth only has 4 talents, whereas Core has 17. It's a wide range, which is interesting at face value, but until we see how the points influence our actions, it's hard to say with certainty. When it comes to talent systems, I'm a big fan of diversity that changes gameplay. If a system is just increasing passive stats 1% at a time, then you've pretty much lost me. But if each point I allocate drastically changes the way I experience the game, then I'm sold. I would imagine, and this is just a guess, that Hogwarts Legacy will eventually reward players with enough talent points to max out their character. I can't say I'm surprised if that's the direction they take, But after playing a few games with progression that makes you all powerful, stripping away the challenge does make for a slightly cheapened experience. I'm not saying that's what's happening here, not yet, but the writing is on the wall. Another system tied to progression is gear. You might not expect a traditional gear system in a Hogwarts RPG, but sure enough, that's what players can expect. At this point, we know of 3 confirmed gear slots: gloves, scarves, and uniform. We also know that a head and glasses slot can be utilized, but it's unclear if that's purely cosmetic.
We know there's going to be more than what he's saying. I feel like there's going to be a lot more. I mean, people are going to be able to take an hour to set up their character. If it takes you an hour to set up your character and looking through everything, sir, something's going on.
Gear comes in different rarities, such as superb, extraordinary, and legendary. And that matters because it directly affects how much you can upgrade that piece of gear. By default, gear features either one offensive or one defensive stat. You can then use magical materials to upgrade that existing stat or unlock the other stat and upgrade it. Based on everything we've seen, it looks like each piece of gear will allow for 3 upgrades in total, which means you'll have to make careful decisions about how you want to upgrade each piece of gear. We don't know if players can manually reset their gear, so for now, we'll just assume our upgrade decisions are permanent. Gear also features traits. Think of these as passive bonuses that you can add to each piece of gear.
I feel like everything that you do when it comes to gears is going to be permanent. I don't think that you're going to be able to change a lot of things once you make it. I think that's because of the, how it works. But if we're really talking about Harry Potter and how things work, you should be able to snap your fingers or wave your wand and change something. So, I mean, I don't know.
Get much more interesting at tier 2 or 3, but I'm a bit skeptical. Again, I enjoy systems that change playstyles or augment existing playstyles in unique ways, and this just seems to inflate your power level, which I just find a bit uninspiring. Nevertheless, gear is intimately tied to your character progression in the game, but it's also dependent on the third major progression system, the Room of Requirement. I'll admit, I love the way the developers are linking every system.
He's probably already going to be talking about this, what I'm about to say right now, which I'm pausing it about. But the Room of Requirement is going to be kind of your one-stop shop area where everything that you get or everything that you need to upgrade or use is going to be here. When it comes with fighting off evil or anything like that, and you need to, make a potion or something, you're going to be doing it here. Also, the entrance to your pet area or the animals that you save while you're out and about in the world are actually, the entrance is right there, right in front of us. If you can see that glass area, that's going to be the entrance to your outside world, which I think is really, really cool. The Room of Requirement has this little area where you can walk through a door, and it's a whole nother, I don't know how to explain it, world for your pets. So it's just kind of cool. I think that's kind of amazing.
System together. It doesn't always have to be incredibly deep to be engaging, especially if everything is working in harmony. And that's really how I see all the pieces coming together in Hogwarts Legacy. The Room of Requirement is one part useful, another part wild fan service, and while the latter is exciting, it's the former I really want to talk about. When you break it down, there are multiple aspects to combat that the Room of Requirement feeds into. On one hand, it's a hub for upgrading your gear. We spoke about that a short while ago. At some point in the game, you'll unlock an enchanted loom, which will give you access to this system. The Room of Requirement is also where you'll identify the gear that you find out in the world. Much like the Deckard Cain system from Diablo, players will need to bring mysterious gear back to the identification station to be revealed. How and where we get all of this gear, well, that's still a mystery, but based on everything we've seen, there will be plenty to collect. To upgrade your gear, you'll need
that gear. When I was looking at this gear, guys, that he showed us just now, it's like a moving piece. Here, let me rewind it real quick. This moving gear piece, kind of really cool looking gear. It's actually, unfortunately, only available for the I think deluxe and collector's edition. So if you only get the deluxe or collector's edition, you're only allowed that piece. That's the only way that you can get it. So if you get this game regularly or through Steam, just like the regular, you won't be able to get this cool outfit. Again, like I said in the beginning of our stream, if you guys go to thewhislingworld.com and you do the little test, you're able to, let's say you get Gryffindor, you're able to get that Gryffindor gown or robe that you can't get normally just by buying the game normally. So you have to link it to the game. So I think that's really cool, kind of thing that they added.
To upgrade your gear, you'll need special crafting reagents, and these are provided primarily by magical beasts. Throughout the world will be opportunities to rescue and tame these fantastical creatures, and if done successfully, you can bring them back to your menagerie within the Room of Requirement and care for them. The better you care for them, the more willing they are to provide you with their unique crafting reagent. Mooncalf fur, jobber null feathers, niffler fur, toadwarts, whooper feathers.
Crazy.
These are all items players will need to upgrade their gear, and they're all provided by magical creatures. Within the menagerie, players will have the option to care for each beast they tame. This breaks down into a few simple functions: love, food, and enrichment. Much like the Harvest Moon games back in the 90s, you'll have the opportunity to pet, feed, and play with each creature, satisfying their basic needs, and in return, they'll provide you with their unique reagent. Some of these functions, such as feeding your magical creatures, can also be automated thanks to special utility items you can conjure within the space. Everything that you conjure in the Room of Requirement can be customized, tweaked, changed, the colors can be varied, but it all does have a cost, usually a moonstone. One aspect of the menagerie we haven't seen is breeding. We know it's a thing thanks to some info panels quickly rolled over during a gameplay showcase, but how it works, well, that is still a mystery. That being said, assume we'll be able to raise our own small army of nifflers or any other creature right from the comfort of the Room of Requirement. Within the room, you'll also be able to do so much more, like brew potions. Based on an earlier showcase of the game, there will be a budget for how many potion stations you can have in the room at one time, but this will provide you with an alternative way of creating items you would otherwise have to buy. Based on a few glimpses throughout various trailers and showcases, we can see that when brewing or growing anything in this space, the item will be set to a timer, a system we see most often in mobile games. Depending on the item that you're creating, that timer will fluctuate, which means you'll have to wait until the timer runs out before you can come back and collect the finished item. The same can be said about growing herbs and magical plants within the Room of Requirement. Potting stations allow players to grow combat plants like the Chinese chomping cabbage and the venomous tentacula, and as you can see, the same timer is associated with growing these items as well. Magical herbs, on the other hand, used in complex potions, can also be grown at a different station in the room. We got a great look at this in the December showcase a few months ahead of launch.
So like I said a little bit in the earlier live stream, guys, if you guys didn't hear, was the potions. I pretty much told you guys the potions are going to be very useful. If they're going to take this long, 30 minutes for a potion in game, I can't do it, turn off my game like a mobile device, walk away and come back later, turn my game on and realize that it's done. No, it's in game time. So that's gonna suck, right? So I hope it's gonna be well used, and I hope it's gonna be well worth it for you to do that.
No doubt the Room of Requirement will be a huge hit for players. Those looking to progress will maximize its potential, pushing its capabilities to the limit. More casual players, well, I think they'll just relish in all the cosmetic goodness the developers are throwing our way, creating a space they can completely customize to their heart's content. That being said, at some point, players will need to pull themselves away from Hogwarts and explore the world around the castle. This is easily one of the most intriguing aspects of the game. We've seen bits and pieces of the wizarding world throughout the books and movies, but the freedom the developers have to create something truly special is remarkable. During the December gameplay preview, the team showcased just how open world Hogwarts Legacy is, and this is something I think a lot of players that typically play open world games will be excited.
Okay, we're gonna stop him for talking and we're just gonna watch this. You guys, this is amazing, right? Open world, getting on a broom and just going a certain direction, getting on a hippogriff and going on a crazy adventure of your own. There are going to be all these side quests around Hogwarts that you're going to be able to do, right? So you kind of actually have to get there, which is amazing that they give us a broom to do that in Hogwarts, because if you don't have a broom and you're not able to do this in Hogwarts, that would have really sucked, right? So I'm glad we're able to go out and adventure different areas on our brooms or on our animals that we find.
Once players have their own magical flying creature, they will be able to explore the world without restriction, but the developers have confirmed that brooms will be a faster method of transportation.
So something I said earlier, guys, was the fact that you have a little bag and your animals are on that bag. So if you see, he takes out this little bag, he looks through it for a second, and all of a sudden this giant hippogriff just comes out of the bag, and he just puts the bag away. Like, the bag is like, you just, put it away. I think that's really smart of them to do per Wizarding World, right?
Restriction, but the developers have confirmed that brooms will be a faster method of transportation. That being said, beast mounts can run on the ground as well as fly without restriction, so you tell me what's better. Players looking for an instant method of transportation can rely on something different, the Flu Network, which acts as the game's fast travel system. Unlocking Flu points is done by simply walking past them, and by the looks of things, there are dozens of them around the game world. We haven't seen the Flu Network in full effect quite yet, but based on the number of nodes we've seen in all the preview content, it looks like players will be able to zip around the world quickly, if they need to. Of course, this is an optional system, and if you'd rather ride on a broom or a hippogriff, you can do that.
Like
it's
me.
perfectly fine. One of the most iconic locations outside of Hogwarts is, of course, Hogsmeade, which seems to be a major hub within Hogwarts Legacy. While the Room of Requirement will provide you with the means to craft your own potions and grow your own herbs, you'll also be able to purchase what you need from the various shops and vendors.
I think that's awesome that they ended up putting in... Oh, Cal. Oh, you're in my face. Look at it. Hello? Can you see me? Oh, okay, there we go. It was right under my face. I forgot I put the alert right there. I'm gonna go ahead and just move that above my face right there. Okay. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Cal. I'm gonna call you Cal. You've got Cal. Anyway, welcome to the stream. We're talking about Hogwarts Legacy. If you're just joining us right now, we're going through the Legacy Gaming YouTube video that he posted. Love this guy. I love this video. So we're watching it for the first time together completely. I've watched like little bits and pieces of it just to understand some things, as well as watch other gameplays. So we're kind of putting it all into one video for YouTube and for the stream. So but yeah, anyway, like I was saying, I love how they incorporated this, just like how they incorporate a lot of other games where you actually have to go to a certain store for a certain thing. I think that's awesome that they added it to the game, and you're also being able to meet more people, right? I love meeting all these different characters that I've never, met before. I think that's really cool. It's going to be really cool.
At Pippin's Potions, we can see that players will have access to reagents, new crafting recipes, and fully brewed potions. We also know that brooms and gear can be purchased from somewhere within the village. We don't have the exact location or shop at this point, but we got a glimpse of what some of those outfits might look like. There is still a lot of mystery surrounding Hogsmeade, and that's okay, because if they revealed everything ahead of launch, we'd have nothing to truly explore. What we know is that Hogsmeade will provide us with a wide array of content, from shops and vendors to new quests and combat opportunities. I also believe the story will bring us through Hogsmeade multiple times during our adventure. Hogwarts and Hogsmeade provide...
I think that's going to be really fun. I'm telling you guys, Hogsmeade, like he said, is going to be a big area in the game. You're going to have to go to Hogsmeade, go back to your dorm room, and then go back to Hogsmeade. So that's going to be fun. Hello, I can't wait for this game. I'm pre-ordering it tomorrow, so I get the pre-order bonus, and I have a gift card from Christmas and my birthday, so I'm going to get the deluxe edition for like $30. Dude, that's awesome. Man, I was looking forward to get the collector's edition to this game, and sad, unfortunately, I could not, because it sold out in like a day. Not even. I think they said it sold out in like an hour, which I'm like, you have a Hogwarts game, a Harry Potter game, all right, that is coming out for the first time ever, that is this massive, and you're gonna only have like, what, 5,000 copies or something like that? I don't know how many they had but come on now. I think I showed you guys also that how much they were selling that for. It's not still here, but they were selling it for $300. $300. I was like, come on now. Anyway, I really wanted that, but I am going to get the deluxe edition just like you, except I'm pre-ordering it Friday. No, not Friday. When am I pre-ordering it? What's today? The 5th, next Friday. I'm pre-ordering it next Friday. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting.
Provide two of the main settings within the game, but the team isn't stopping there. In fact, there are quite a few wizard hamlets that dot the countryside around Hogwarts. These are smaller villages that actually seem to have quite a lot going on. Various small shops and vendors can be found within each of these hamlets, as well as quests and optional content players can engage with. It's safe to assume all of these will feed into the progression system, rewarding items and XP, as well as providing players an opportunity to fill out that wizard field guide we talked about before. Don't forget, the wizarding world is also battling a creeping evil. The rolling hillside of the country might be pleasant enough, but there are other, more sinister areas within the world we'll have to explore, such as the Forbidden Forest. There, players will have to confront giant spiders and, I imagine, dark wizards. We've also seen a variety of dungeons, crypts, and vaults throughout the various trailers filled with skeletons, trolls, and other evils. It's hard to say how these systems will play out in the game. RPGs are known for iconic dungeon crawling experiences, so it wouldn't be a far stretch to assume we'll experience something like that in Hogwarts Legacy.
I think that's pretty much it that he talks about when it comes to Hogwarts Legacy before the game. I think that this game, guys, is going to be all about exploring, and it's going to be all about the people that you meet and how you want the direction of the game to go to. I feel like if you want to be a bad wizard, you can lead into being a bad wizard. You know, you can go down a dark path, but if you want to go toward like a lighter path, I think you're going to be able to do that. I feel like the game director, I forget what his name is. Anyway, them creating the game, I feel like they want a player to be able to choose the direction that they want, right, in this game. So dark and light's got to be in there somewhere, right? And I think also Warner Bros, I feel like they're not going to want someone to go around Avada Kedavraing everyone, right? Just killing them. That's the killing curse, if you guys don't understand what I'm saying. But to just kill people left and right? So you're only going to be able to, I feel like you're only going to be able to use that curse at some points throughout the game. So I don't know. You know, we'll see what the hell goes on. We'll see what happens. I'm excited to be able to play this game. When the game does come out, I'm going to be live for like a full, I feel like, 8 hours playing this game, so we'll see. And it's going to be like a 3-day game. I feel like to complete this game, it's going to take a while. It's going to take a lot of manpower for me to complete this game quickly, so it's going to take me a while, especially with me working. So I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens, guys. But yeah, that is going to be pretty much it for now, guys. Tomorrow we're going to be streaming the same time today, 6 p.m. PST. We're going to be going over a little bit more of the gameplay of the actual game, a little bit, I feel like, on YouTube. On stream, guys, we're going to be doing a 5M stream tomorrow, so we won't be talking about Hogwarts Legacy. We'll be talking about the new governor for Tyrant Roleplay. If you guys are into 5M, check out our Discord. It's below. You guys will be able to see in the About section and all that great stuff. Actually, you know what? Just for you guys, let me go ahead and post it for you guys right now. If you guys are into 5M, this is going to be for you, and this is going to be it's going to be a fun time tomorrow. We're going to be announcing the new governor. We had an election in 5M, so I was actually running as well. So, but no, I Myers is going to win. He's literally like 3 points ahead of me, so we're going to have a whole election system there. But anyway, enough of that. Hogwarts Legacy. It's going to be fun. It's going to be amazing. I hope you guys will come back and keep watching my streams for the game. Hope you guys, if you guys haven't followed yet, please follow. And also follow me on YouTube. Subscribe if you guys are YouTube watchers, if you guys like that kind of stuff. Follow me on Twitter. I'll be posting this video on YouTube, on my YouTube page, which will be announced soon. It's probably going to be on my Discord channel. So anyway, guys, until the next stream, stay frosty, stay cool, and I'll see you guys all real soon. Peace.